Hello everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, sorry, just trying to get things adjusted here. This is not your video, this is mine. Hello, welcome to the Hands of Anna Walker. Sorry, I'm a couple of minutes late, but the guys just got here to start working on my backyard, and it already looks good, and all they've done is flatten out a little humpy part on the upper deck. So, yay, I am all excited. Did you know today is my birthday, and I am celebrating all day by doing whatever I want to do. And today, what I wanted to do, and I'm going to turn on another light here because it's a little dark here. Let's get this other light on here. There, that should be a little bit better. I want to illuminate what we're doing here. So, we have got some fluff in 3 really bright colors, and we've got a little crocheted medallion here. So today is Tuesday, so that means it's Tell Me Tuesday. And today, the question that I'm going to give you an answer for is, can I needle felt onto something that I've crocheted? Well, let's give it a try, shall we? I'm going to move this just a little bit closer so you can see it up close and personal. Let's move this here to the center. So this is just a fun little crocheted medallion that I've done. I did several of these with the thought of maybe making a table runner. I have no idea what I'm going to do with them, but for me, like felting, only not like felting, but like felting, crocheting is something that I do that is, it helps me sort of get out of my head, and it helps me sort of turn off and just go into the process of just working with my hands and getting into a methodical rhythm. It's kind of like meditation for me. Felting is the same, and it's different because with felting, I'm usually trying to create something in particular. So I need to pay attention to the direction I'm laying out the fibers and the design that I'm incorporating. But with crochet, I can just say, okay, I'm going to make a bunch of circles with the little loops on the outside, and I can just get into the rhythm of working that, and it can be something that's just very zen and very meditative. So I had, as I've been going through the studio, this really cool frame from another project that I never used, and I thought, you know, wouldn't it be cool to frame one of these as a mandala? So let's give it a go. Now I've got my crocheted piece just pinned with some straight pins onto my felting form, and I just want to take my red tipped needle, which means it's a size 40 needle, and I'm going to decide just by following the lines on my crochet design here, and I'm going to sort of treat this like the basis for a mandala. So the first thing I want to do is this center piece. Now I've just got to be very careful when I start this because I want this to be right in the very center. And I'm just needling straight down pretty much in that open spot in the center of my felt circle, my crocheted circle here. And then I can sort of pull these edges in. I could keep felting just in the same spot, and eventually those excess fibers would come into the very center of this. But I want to speed this up a little bit for the sense of our little demonstration today. Now, one thing I want to tell you is that I will have to, at some point, and it'll be after I get the entire design done on this side, I'll have to flip this over and then needle felt from the other side as well. But you can see I've got a good start. So now let's figure out, I want to take this really bright chartreuse here, and I just want to pull off some little bits, just making little piles here. And I always try, when I'm doing a design, I try and think of an odd number. So I've got an odd number here, and this is going to be the next little bit that we go around. So I've got all these little bits here. I'm going to come down, put all of those down there, and I'm just going to start with one. And I'm going to find a point around this first circle, and I'm just going to stab over and over in this one spot to just build in that little bit of green. I'm going to do the same for the next one. You can certainly roll these up a little bit if you want. I don't think it's necessary, but you can if that's your choice. And I am just randomly spacing these out. So I'm hoping that my sense of spacing is right on, because I do have an odd number here. It's not like I can go north, south, east, west, and then fill in the gaps. Although I probably could, and that might be a smarter way to, why don't we do that? Let's do that. I'm all about making it easy today. It's my birthday. I don't want to work too hard on this. I don't want to think too hard on this. I want this to be like a mandala in that it gives you that feeling of zen and mindfulness and meditation all at the same time. And so I think this is going to work out really well. Because even though it's evenly spaced, it is not in fours. And sometimes I think I get stuck on that. And so we've got 6 dots here. And again, I am just stabbing pretty much right in the same spot. And I'm not worried if these are a little bit different sized. That gives it the creative, abstract-y kind of feel in this very regular pattern. And I can go into these areas that have a little bit of a larger sense of those dots, and I can stab them down. But you can see we're starting to get that pattern here. Now, I really think it's time we add some purple. Go figure. So I think what I'm going to do is bring the purple in this next row, right in between each of these greens. I'm just taking a pinch off of each of them, and then I'm going to pull in some more of that pink again between the purple. Now this purple is almost a perfect match to the yarn that I used to create this crocheted little circle here originally, so it is tying in beautifully. And again, another little pinch of purple. We're just coloring with the yarn and with the fiber. That's all we're doing. It's like a tangible coloring page, doing this little mandala on top of this crocheted circle. A different way to do a felted mandala. Of course, the felted mandala, the felted piece mandala, is the latest in the $47 club classes, and you can go and grab that for yourself or for someone you love. $47 club class and kit and class combos would be perfect for Mother's Day coming up in a couple of weeks. All right, we're going to add some pink in between these purples. Whether you're creative or not, my $47 club will help you feel creative and give you all the tools you need and all the supplies you need to create something wonderful. And help you learn how to felt, whether it's wet felting or needle felting. But isn't this fun how this is coming together? I love the added little pop of color in between this beautiful yarn that I chose to do these circles originally, but this pop of color in this mandala style is just adding so much more that wasn't there with just the crocheted, you know, yarn. And you see, I am not doing a whole lot of stabs here. It doesn't take much when you are needle felting into something that is fiber related to begin with, because the fibers are reaching out and they are grabbing hold of the fibers you're trying to introduce. So it makes it very, very easy for you to work up a design without a whole lot of stabbing needed. And that way you can have the best of both. You can have your crocheting meditation, and then you can have your stabbing meditation. Now I am focusing right now on stabbing in the lines between each of the crocheted rows. You don't have to. You can crochet into any of the areas. And in fact, the next one that I'm going to do is going to be a bit of the lime again, the chartreuse lime, whatever color. And I'm going to put it right up here, sort of in between each of the purple and the pinks, so that we bring that green in again, because I don't want to just have that one area for the green. But see how quickly we have turned a simple crocheted round that I just crocheted because I needed to do a little meditating, and we've turned it into a beautiful design. Now let's take and finish that design with a little bit more of this green. And I'm just gonna have the green live right here between the purple and the pinks, right in the middle of this crocheted row. So it'll be a little bit smaller than what the other bit of green is. And don't worry if your fibers sort of get all sort of crunched up. We need a tiny bit more green there. That green just disappeared. So just a tiny bit more right on top of this. There we go. We're just adding little bits of this green right in between each, right in the middle of this row. So I'm stabbing into the actual crocheted stitches right now, instead of where one row has attached to another row. And that means that it's going to be a little more textural, because the stitch itself is not as even a surface as the line is between the two rows. But isn't this come together nicely? And then if you wanted to, you could certainly decide to add a little bit of embroidery stitching on top of this to give yourself another layer of a design. But I like just doing these simple little dot motifs here. It's sort of like, you know, the dot painting mandala rocks that you see. My friend Sarah makes them, and they're beautiful. And there are other folks that do them as well. But it just gives you that, you know, sort of zen that you get from doing a repeatable pattern, but not really having to think a whole lot about what that pattern's going to be. Just gives you a little bit of time just doing a mindful coloring. And I think the reason that some of the green sort of disappears is because it's closer in color to the yarns that are at the area where I'm stabbing them in. Just a couple more here. I can hear them working on my backyard. That is my gift to myself. I can't wait to see it finished. They're going to be evening out my backyard so that I can have a wine o'clock party here pretty soon. maybe it'll be a wine o'clock, come create something party. That would be fun. I think I've just got 2 more dots, and then I've gone all the way around. And then I'll lift this up and I'll show you how to complete this by locking it in from the other side. We'll flip it over and do a little stabbing on the back side so that we have this fiber felted into this crocheted circle just right. I still find it amazing that you can just put a big old clump of fiber on and you can just stab in the same spot over and over and over, and it will just shrink right in. So let's take the pins out. We're going to be very careful as we lift this because we don't want to dislodge anything, particularly this pink here in the very center. So I am just going to very shallowly stab right on top of where all that fluff is. And I'm shallowly stabbing because I want these fibers to attach just to the crocheted base and not push the fibers all the way through to the other side. So this is kind of a way to lock these fibers into place on top of the crochet. We could certainly wet felt as well to get these fibers locked in, but when I start with needle felting embellishment onto a piece of fabric or onto a piece of crocheting, whatever, I always like to work the fibers from both sides to sort of lock that fabric, whatever it is, whether it's the crocheted doily circle here or whether it's your favorite sweater or whatever. I like to make sure that I am felting from both sides so that those fibers are sort of locked into place. But on the back side, you always want to stab shallow because you don't want to push those fibers through to the other side. And this is a good way to just lock those fibers into place. And I'm just going all the way around. And anywhere I see, you know, the little bits of fluff, I'm just tucking that fluff right back into the base of the crochet so that those fibers are locked in place. Now, the one thing I don't have to worry about, this pulling apart because this is going to be a decorative item. It's not going to be something that's going to be worn. However, if you were doing this onto a wearable, then you would definitely want to make sure that you've got everything just nice and smooth and not having any of those fibers going into directions that you don't want them to go. So you want to be even more careful when you're stabbing to make sure that you've got everything just locked into your fabric, whatever that fabric may be. And again, here's where those shallow stabs are the way you want to go. But there we are. What do you think? I think that it is going to look rather lovely once I get these tails tucked in. And I think what I'm going to do is take some decorative nails and nail this all the way around. I may even paint the background before I do this, but I think this is going to be, let's flip it over here so you can get an idea of how it's going to look. That's basically, you know, how easy it is to add some needle felting to a crocheted item. So tell me what you think. Show me what you've done yourself. And I will come back to you tomorrow with a What to Felt WTF Wednesday. Have a great day. I'm planning on it. I already got brownies. I got banana bread. I'm going to have pork chops for dinner with baked potato. It's my birthday and I'm partying all day long. There may even be a bottle of wine involved. I will talk to you all later. Thanks for being here. I appreciate all of you, and I am so grateful for you coming and supporting me in my little business here. Have a great day. Bye.